righty. Hello, hello. How are you, my dear?
Hi, welcome to Chaga Chat. I'm Gavin Escolar, founder of the Chaga Company, and today I'm with my friend having tea with Ramon as we shelter in place here in San Francisco. Hi, Ramon. How are you doing?
I'm doing fabulous, darling. I'm a little bit incognito today, as you can tell.
You know,
However,
all of this
I'm gonna reveal myself to you and to you all.
Well, there you go.
Anyway, so
hi, how are you guys?
Hi there. It's gonna be a little bit difficult to talk with this, but since I'm at home alone, I think I've been alone here for exactly 33 days. Oh. But people, this is what we need to do. This is what we need to do in these days, please. This is mandatory. Okay, my humble advice to you all.
So what tea are you? What kind of tea are you?
Okay, I'm having today the masala chai with chaga and turkey tail mushroom. I'm telling you, this is fabulous.
Oh, thank you so much.
Cheers, darling. Cheers.
Cheers. Are you making it the regular way? Did you just put milk and sugar or just water?
Just water. I like to feel the, I don't like to mix the tea with anybody, so I can really, oh my God, I can really feel the flavor. Wow, I'm gonna have another sip. This is really good.
Rip away. You know, it's full of antioxidants. That's really, really good for you right now.
Wow, I really like it a lot. So I hope I get to see more of that on my house, okay?
Well, you can order it online at www.thechagacompany.com.
Thank you so much.
You're very, very welcome. Moreover, I'm so happy that Ramon is kind enough to teach us how to make chocolate, because one of his side passions while being quarantined is to make chocolates. And I don't know how he's handling all of that chocolate and still retain that very svelte and fit body of his.
A little bit of cardio here and there, a little bit of dancing, and a little bit of everything. Actually, yeah, we're gonna talk about a little bit chocolate, but to be more precise, what I'm gonna show you to do is how to make ganache. We need chocolate to do that, and we need cream, heavy whipped cream, heavy cream, whatever you wanna call, whatever you wanna use.
What are you gonna use? So is it just like regular chocolate, or?
No, this is just well, it's a chocolate, but this one is a very specific one. I use this chocolate or couverture from a company called Cacao Berry.
Cacao Berry, okay.
It's a really good quality, and this one is called Extra Bitter Guayaquil 64% dark chocolate.
Oh, okay, dang, okay.
It's really, we're talking about quality here, so this is really good. This is like 10 ounces of really nice chocolate couverture. I hope my French is good enough. So what I'm gonna show you today is how I make ganache. Ganache is a French word. And basically, ganache is just the mix of chocolate, any kind of chocolate you want, milk, white chocolate or dark chocolate, and cream. The mix of that gonna give you ganache. Now, it seems very simple and easy. However, there is always a however, and when you do work with on the kitchen and do chocolates or ganache and stuff, follow the recipes and the measurements. Measurements are really important. Otherwise, can go a little bit wrong.
So it's like baking. It's like precision is everything when making chocolates. And
absolutely.
Is your pastime, girl?
Absolutely.
For reals?
Yeah, absolutely. So today I'm gonna use just actually 10 ounces of chocolate and 5 ounces of cream. All you have to do is put the cream on a pan. Yep.
So heavy cream is what you're using.
Today I'm using heavy whipping cream. That's what I'm using. Any brand, whatever you might find.
How many cups are you using of that heavy whipping cream?
Say that again?
How many cups or how many?
Oh no, cups no. I'm sorry. Once again, the measurements are 10 ounces of chocolate and 5 ounces of cream.
So 2 parts chocolate to 1 part cream. If you
one part exactly. 2 to 1. So
since you're drinking my tea, would you mind infusing that with your ganache?
It can be done, absolutely. The ganache can be flavored with everything you want. You can put anything. We can infuse the cream with the tea. We can use, I mean, believe me, the sky is the limit. If we want to put a flavor on the ganache. You just have to pre-done before, and you have to mix it, the cream, usually a day before, so the cream will get the sense and the flavor of the tea or anything else.
So let me ask you this. So for example, like we have my masala chai tea leaves over there with chaga mushroom. Could you put it in your ganache right now while you're heating up the milk and the chocolate, or just the milk, and then straining it after before putting the chocolate on?
Absolutely.
And then tempering it.
Absolutely. You can do anything. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Once again, you can flavor the ganache with anything you want. You can put tea. And this one actually is a good idea. Maybe next time I should try this one. But well, why not? Let's give it a try. Maybe a couple of spoons. There you go.
There is no time like the present, Miss Thang.
Why not?
No. I'm telling you.
And let's see what's gonna happen, right?
And let's see what's
Once again, Chaga Company. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And now we have to bring the cream sort of to the breaking point of boiling. Not really, kind of start bubbling a little bit and a little bit more than that probably, because you don't want, first of all, the cream boil over. It's gonna be a nightmare to clean up. And that will be hot enough and warm enough to melt the chocolate.
So does it have to be hot, or does it have to be just hot enough to melt the chocolate?
To me, it have to be hot enough to melt the chocolate. Now, I'm gonna let it probably boil a little bit because we just added your amazing tea.
Yes, and the thing is that with that masala chai, did you make the masala chai is so fabulous with chocolate, because I make that with my hot chocolate as a sweetener for my masala chai and make like a spicy cocoa chai. And now you're teaching us how to make spicy masala ganache.
Yeah, you know what? Probably that's what I'm gonna use for my next bonbons, because talking about a little bit what I'm doing with the chocolate, I'm mostly, I consider myself a future professional chocolatier. I've been doing chocolate, or I've been working with chocolates for almost 10 years now, but I still have a lot to learn. I never went to culinary school or anything like that. I'm not a chef, I'm a flight attendant, but one of my passions is actually chocolate. Although I've been taking classes, I took my very first class here in San Francisco. And then when I was at this class, because I was doing stuff on my own, and this is me, I always do something, then I take classes. Mm-hmm. So this chef or teacher told me that I need to go to this school in Chicago. It's called Chicago Chocolate Academy. Because she said that I have the skills, but I need to learn. Of course, you have to learn. You have to educate yourself.
So what you're telling me is that your class here in San Francisco told you that you have the hand.
Yes, exactly. And let's take a look at this.
All about the hands.
There's a little bit, and if you want to check the temperature, just to give you an idea how hot it have to be close to like 75 degrees Celsius, or the equivalent on Fahrenheit.
Yes, what's Fahrenheit?
And still have another and a few more. Basically, once again, it's always to the breaking point of boiling. I mean, it's kind of almost there. We're talking about like maybe 2 or 3 minutes of that.
But do you need to like make it into that specific temperature for a long period of time, or once that thing is going to bring?
I usually what I do, no, not necessarily. What I do is I just leave it like that for a minute, so just to be sure that it's going to be warm, have enough to melt the chocolate.
Okay.
That's it. That's the most important bit. Okay. Now, in this case, because I added last minute your fabulous tea, I'm just gonna give it a little bit more time to, have the flavors come up on the cream.
And I would suggest straining the cream.
That's it. That's all you need to do is basically strain it. And I have everything here.
Oh, she did not. And this is her pastime, by the way, you guys. Really.
Say it again.
This is your pastime for reals.
Yeah. No, for real, it is. But I love it. It has been very therapeutic, especially these days. As you know, we all fell a little bit down. I was a little like, what am I going to do at home? I've been at home actually exactly 32 days now. Okay. Shelter in place, whatever you want to call it. But chocolate is something that kept me going.
Oh, that's good. So, what's more therapeutic is for you to leave some of that ganache when I go to my post office, because you're on the way.
Okay. Now, it's almost there. It's almost at the breaking point of boiling. It's bubbling already.
Wait, hold on. So what you're doing is that you are boiling the chocolate, but you're not putting the chocolate in the pan. You're putting it out of the pan to make.
Exactly. You boil only the cream. You don't, the chocolate is still here.
Oh.
Yeah, you pour the cream on the chocolate and
Not
start
put
mixing.
the chocolate onto the cream.
No. Okay, this is, you see, I don't know if you can see, but it's already kind of like.
I bet you, how does it smell?
Oh, darling.
I bet.
Okay, now we're gonna pour this little by little. It doesn't have to be that much, and strain it, of course.
Yes.
Little by little, and
Let me take my mask off.
let it set for a moment. Some people let it set. Some people start mixing it right away. There's not really a rule on that. I'm one of those ones who let it set for a little bit and then start mixing, you know, and see what is going to be. And on first place, I'm gonna show you. On the first place, it won't really look even. It's gonna look like what's going on here, like maybe it went wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it is. That's actually, it looks like, oh my God, what have I done? What I did wrong? And now it can sometimes go wrong in the way you see it. Sometimes can get too hard or too firm or too liquid. It depends of what you want to use the ganache for. In my case, because I use the ganache to fill in the bonbons, so I wanted to have like kind of soft, firm, but not too hard and not too liquid. You know? Yeah.
And then after that, you can even mix like nuts on the ganache before you put it in your.
Believe me, you can do anything you want. And you can tell, as you can tell, like it start melting already, and we're getting a very nice uniform cream texture, silky. It smells so good. Thank you so much for. And I'm gonna add the last part of the cream. That's it. And
wow.
Oh, I splashed a little bit there, somewhere there. It's okay.
Hey.
All righty.
Okay, your milkshake is better than the boys in the yard. Damn right. Yep. Make that ganache, Ramon. Yes.
Oh yeah, this is absolutely lovely. So, and almost there. I mean, literally, it just takes a couple of minutes to melt everything.
And then after that, do you leave it at room temperature? Do you refrigerate it?
When you are done with the ganache, there's two things that I do. Basically, I leave it to sort of like room temperature. First of all, I want to be sure that it's completely melted, that it has been warm enough for the whole chocolate to melt. It can take a few minutes, and sometimes it happens that it doesn't want to melt right away. Why? I don't know why. Sometimes things happen. And you can put it on double boiling or add more cream if you want to, just to be sure that ganache is completely melt. I mean, the chocolate, the coverture is completely melt.
So it's up to you on the texture, on how much you want, but a good sense is a 2-to-1 ratio, right?
Basically, that's what it is. Yeah, usually that's what it takes.
Oh, keep on mixing that bowl. That's right. So right now, the Chaga Company also has a 70% dark chocolate that's vegan. The whole 2-ounce bar only has 200 calories and has around 10 grams of sugar. It's absolutely delicious, and you can.
I might like to try that.
Girl, you know, when I go to the post office, you can leave some of that, and I will replace it with some of my chocolate.
We can keep trading. You can keep breeding, and I can keep creating for you or for everybody else to see.
Yes, I would love for you to actually do a lot of experiments, because a lot of people don't know the numerous ways that they could use my teas and my products. And one of them is, oh my goodness, that ganache is so silky. Oh, show me that spoon.
Almost done. There were a few pieces of chocolate there, which is okay. It's nice, but I want to be sure that everything is completely melted and it's gonna have a very nice consistency. Like I said, I like it this way. Why? Because once again, in my particular case, I use the ganache to fill in the bonbons. So some people like it a little firmer, harder, or more liquid. It really is up to everybody. I mean, honestly, there is not a specific rule.
And that's all based upon the proportions of that 2-to-1 ratio, and you could tweak it whether you want to be like.
You can play with it. You can literally do whatever you want to do with it. You can play with it. It's, if you do it once and then you didn't like it and you think you screw it up, you can go ahead and add more cream or add more chocolate. It's really up to you. That's gonna be you and the ganache.
Okay, so if you feel like you're gonna screw something up, Ramon, you could always put it in a Tupperware and leave it outside your door.
And it's still eatable. It probably won't look exactly that appealing because it will look groomy, it will look like that. But believe me, the flavor is still gonna be there. It's just what happened. We are so used to eat something that it has to be like delicious, and that's chocolate. That's what it's all about. Chocolate and everything that comes with chocolate has to look like so perfect, especially to me. Like, and ganache is one of those textures. Like personally, because I experiment with every ganache that I'm gonna put out there, I'm gonna put on my bonbons, and to me, it has to be silky, smooth, pretty much perfect. 100% perfect. Otherwise, I won't try. If something doesn't come out right, I say no. I'm very peculiar in that regard.
That is so
okay.
great.
This is pretty much done. I'm gonna clean that before because I'm going crazy with that right there.
Let me take a look. Yes.
And well, accidents happen. Getting used to. And the very first time, I'm going to tell you a little bit of something about that. The very first time I made chocolate or made the very first bonbons I made here in this San Francisco small kitchen, there was chocolate everywhere. Don't ask me how, but this is a very high ceiling. I don't know how, 2 or 3 days later, I realized there was chocolate there. It's like, how that happened? How the chocolate got there?
That's fantastic, because most of the time our people over here who are watching that are sheltered at home, if they're going to make that ganache, expect you have chocolate everywhere.
Everywhere. Don't be afraid. So, okay, this is done, and I'm going to put it on here so you guys can see it. There you go.
Look at that. That looks delicious. Oh, my goodness. Look how silky and shiny that is.
I'm going to put it all. I think it's like, yeah.
Yeah, you can put it all. And then after that, you can put it on a Tupperware bag and give it to me or mail it.
I wouldn't mind, for real.
I will take half of that if you don't.
I'm going to give it a try and see, because I'm dying to try now there. We're going to call it, this is going to be like the Chaga Ganache, because it's the masala chai with chaga and turkey tail mushrooms. Oh, let's see.
Yes, I'm really excited.
Oh dear. I'm sorry, honey, but you won't be able to see anything of this. Oh my God. You just gave me a new flavor to my list of flavor of ganache.
You know, another thing that I want, thank you so much. Because first of all, I own half of that. Everything.
Okay, well, we're done with this. So it's very important to think about what you're gonna do with your ganache. You can use it right away. In my case, once again, I mostly would put it on a piping bag, let it set and cool off to go down to 28, 30 degrees Celsius so I can fill in the shells that I made with chocolate for the bonbons. But some other people use it for many other reasons, to fill out cakes, to ice cakes. So in that case, can be a little more liquid, or even at this texture can be nice. Now, the very important thing, if you want to have it at room temperature, you have to cover it. Otherwise, you will end up getting this not nasty, but not nice,
weird
layer. Exactly. And you just want to...
your chocolate shiny. We hand paste.
Exactly. You just want to cover it because air, oxygen on top of that won't be nice. It will create this thick layer on your ganache. And then, of course, you can store it on the fridge, and it can last for up to 2 or 3 weeks. Now, if you want to use it later on and it's too firm or too hard, all you need to do is put it on the microwave for a few seconds, back and forth, and otherwise you can put it on a double boiler back to the stove, minimum heat, and wait until it's kind of soft enough, and you can use it. I done it before. I experiment with everything.
Or
Once again,
if that's
sometimes
too hard,
sometimes it
hot
works,
spoon, and then you take a spoon and you eat it.
Exactly. Sometimes it works great. Sometimes it doesn't. It depends also the chocolate. You know, it depends on the company that you use, what kind of chocolate you want to use. Milk chocolate and white chocolate can be very tricky. I done it and I felt so frustrated because it didn't quite work in the way I wanted, so I give up. But I might end up going back to try again.
So, question: I have some of my people, my chaga charged people, who are vegan and they don't take cream, of course. Does one have a ganache that's vegan? Because my chocolate bar is vegan, and I would love to have vegan bonbons with chaga.
Absolutely. Once again, there's everything out there for everybody in these days, and there's even a recipe which I was looking for it actually. I don't know, I have it buried somewhere there. Ganache without cream, and I done it, but honestly I try to remember because I don't know, I cannot remember exactly what I put on it, but there's no cream. And there is answer your question, there is organic stuff, there's vegan stuff, chocolate stuff, and vegan ganache, of course, because there's everything out there. I haven't really experimented or got into that much. I use, so to speak, the conventional stuff, the mix of this and the mix of that. But I'm open to learn, I'm open to explore, and now I have the time to do it. And yeah, you know, there's everything for everybody, especially for people that don't like to drink, or they cannot eat and drink dairy. I'm one of those ones. I like the ganache, but I have to kind of like not too often, because then I'm gonna feel like, okay, I had too much, and then I start feeling it, because I cannot drink milk, or I cannot eat that much dairy products. And yeah, a lot of people in this day are sensitive to it. You have to think about that. Yeah.
So I hope you can actually like unearth that recipe from your bowels of your San Francisco home or your memory, because
so this is the best way to start.
That's how to make this vegan ganache. And oh my goodness, that looks fabulous. You look like Martha Stewart.
My goodness. Now the other thing is, sort of at the end of the when you're done with the ganache, some people like alcohol, and yeah, you can put, oh yeah, honey, that's the best part. You can put this adorno. One of my favorites, amaretto this adorno. You just can put a shot of it or 2 shots. It depends how much you want.
So, now this is interesting. Okay, so while you are putting like liquor and stuff like that, we have experiences. Because I was actually like messing around with my alcohol tincture and cream. It actually curd the cream.
I was getting there. And once again, measurements and follow the recipes. If it called for a specific amount of alcohol of, like on my recipes of amaretto ganache, you just put what is there, and always on proportion of what you're making, you know. And if you said, like, I don't know, 50 grams or 5 ounces, but that's exactly what you have to do. Because I experienced with some alcohol things, or like pisco, for example, that is from Peru, and I want everybody to try that.
Oh, I know.
That's one of my favorites, actually, flavor is passion fruit with pisco, but I have that situation. I think I put too much pisco, and something happened like, oh my goodness, what happened here? I don't know how to explain, but sometimes that's the way it goes. So you have to be careful with alcohol. You have to like add it a little bit and see how it goes.
Good advice would be to like heat the milk so that the alcohol can dissipate while you put the alcohol in? Ooh.
Usually you put the alcohol at the end, but I wouldn't mind, or I would try probably to have the milk with the milk or with the cream.
And after the chocolate.
I put it towards when the ganache is done. I put it at the end. Usually, I add the alcohol at the very end.
That means that the alcohol is already cool. The chocolate is not that hot.
If the chocolate is a little bit cooler, because this, for example, is already sort of room temperature, and that's like, you see, 28 degrees Celsius or 82 degrees Fahrenheit, which is already cooling off.
I love the fact that you have a temperature gun.
Yeah, you need these ones. You know, you have to always, in order to be very close to the temperatures. working with chocolate, you have to be very careful with the temperature, because 2, 3, or 4, or 5 degrees more, you can have a calamity, literally, because let's say you have the shells for the bonbons and the ganache is too hot. Guess what's gonna happen? Disaster. You're gonna melt it. You're gonna melt the little shells that it takes so long to make them. Yeah, you don't want to.
By
do
the
that.
way, this is his passion, as you can see.
It is my passion, absolutely. Thank you so much. I hope you like it. I hope you all enjoy it. Yeah.
And hopefully we'll talk to you again. Thank you very much for the tea, and leave half of that outside your door. I'll sneak in.
All right, my dear.
Thank you.
You're welcome. See you next time.